Yeah. What's up, guys? Hey. Yeah. Almost had a rave up in here. What's happening up there? Hey, I'm Mark from the Digital Age. So glad you guys are here tonight. We're pumped to be here. As the video said, we have this new organization we're partnering with. We're really pumped about it. We just want to really quickly plug them. The Digital Age, the name came about from this idea that we had as a band that our neighbor is now no longer our actual physical neighbor. We were having these band conversations. We used to be a band called the David Crowder Band, and we had a church in Waco that we were a part of, and we were the UBC worship team, and then that eventually got named the David Crowder Band. So we toured, and we were writing songs for this local church congregation. And David moved away a couple years ago, and us four were like, hey, we want to stay at this church and keep playing music. And so we're like, well, we know when you decide you're going to be a band and the guy who you named your band after moves away, you can't really keep the name. So it's like, okay, we got to come up with a new name. So we were having these conversations about, well, what do we want our name to be about? Well, it can just be something silly with no meaning, or we could try and have a meaning, and we can try to make something clever. And so we entered in Google, like, clever band name, and it was like, sorry, all those are taken. So we were like, well, I guess we should try and think of something that matters to us. So this idea of the Digital Age came about because I have this friend in Thailand who I talk to very frequently, like almost 3 or 4 times a week, and I realized that he's more my neighbor than my actual physical next door neighbor. Like, I don't know the last time I talked to my next door neighbor. He's kind of weird. So I was like, well, it's weird that we live in an age where my neighbor is around the world, and I'm actually can easily communicate to this guy. And so the name The Digital Age kind of has that idea of, well, this is a cool moment for the church. It's a cool moment for people, because we now live in an era where we can affect very easily somebody very far away. And so missionally as a band, we're like, this is really exciting. So we had this idea of partnering with somebody all over the world, or somewhere on the other side of the world that wasn't necessarily just our local UBC church congregation. And so as we're seeking out, we met this girl named Crystal, and she showed us this graph that really blew our minds as a band, and it kind of really swayed us. So we're like, oh man, Food for the Hungry, oh, we have it. Good job, BY. So in 1981, the UN did a poll about extreme poverty, and they found out that over 52% of the world lived in extreme poverty. And what that actually means is it's about $1.25 a day that a person is living on. And then they did it again in 2006, and they found out that that number cut in half. Like totally cut in half, and not very long. So it's like, that's pretty exciting. Good job, world. Like we're doing something. And but then it's exciting because then it showed in the next 20 years, it's going to be a goose egg. It's going to be nothing. But if nothing is done, if people keep helping out how they're helping out, if organizations and if Christians keep stepping up and doing this, it's going to go down to 0 in our lifetime, which is pretty amazing. And it's a cool moment for the church to rise up in. And it's a good thing to do as a person, but as a church, you should really care about the least of these. And it's pretty amazing that we can help maybe speed that number up and let it happen faster. So we partnered with Food for the Hungry because we really like what they do. Do any of you guys sponsor kids? Anybody here? Yeah, that's amazing. That's like the most hands so far of the tour. I love that. Very good news. Come on, Vegas. So what they do is a little different than a lot of your other child sponsorship organizations. They take a top-down approach. So instead of you actually giving money to a kid to pay for his school and pay for him to get shots, what they do is they actually go into a community and they say, community, what do you need to raise this kid well? Because you can give a kid food, you can give a man a fish, you know, the little, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach a man a fish, he eats for his life. So that's kind of their approach with community transformation. They operate in over 30 countries now, I think. And they just go in and they go, hey, what does your community need? What's keeping kids from thriving? What's keeping your community from being the community it should be and can be? And they'll go, well, the well is 8 miles away, so kids aren't going to school because they have to skip school and walk to the well and come back. And even though somebody's sponsoring this kid and paying for them to go to school, they're not going to school because they have to walk and get water for their family. So what Food for the Hungry would do is go, well, so if we help you guys build a well, will more kids go to school? And they're like, yeah, probably. Like, cool. So what they do is this child sponsorship is each child has a community, and you're giving money to their community that is co-partnered with Food for the Hungry, and they teach the community how to do things themselves and hopefully work themselves out of a job, which I think is pretty cool. So it's really easy, and I think as a American Christian, it's a pretty easy way to just give money to help, because most of us don't have time to go over there and help and dig wells. But it's a really simple thing to go, hey, we believe in the transformation that happens with Jesus, and our love for our neighbor should happen over there as well as our actual physical neighbor over here. So it's really easy. It's $35 a month, and with that, you can really, really affect the lives of somebody who has no chance. And I think we have like 10 or so kids on the table, and I know this is kind of lame, but I like to say, these kids need you. They need somebody to take care of them. If I had 10 kids up here next to me who were starving, who could not pay for education, who couldn't pay for basic medical health needs, I'm pretty sure between all of us, we would just be like, hey kids, what do you need? Like, here's my pocket. Like, what can we do to help you? Like, if they're staring, it's a lot easier to go, oh, it's just a kid on a piece of paper. And, you know, they're on a table outside. So our goal for this tour is to get 300 kids sponsored, and it's very doable. And we've already had so many people step up, and we're really excited. And Food for the Hungry is excited to be partnering with us, and we're excited to be partnering with them. And so I would encourage you guys, we're about to do an intermission, go check them out. There's a table out there. There's kids from multiple countries. It's a really, really cool thing to do. You can talk to someone out there about it. Check them out. They're a great organization. We also want to help out, and if you are thinking about it and aren't sure and you want to buy our merch, please don't buy our merch. Go help Food for the Hungry, because that's really where our heart is as a band. And also, as a way of saying thank you, we want to give you one of our CDs for free if you want to do that. We really believe in this company. But we're also here to worship God. And so we're going to do a quick set change. Please, in like 15 minutes or so, we'll be done. But go check it out. It's right out there, Food for the Hungry. And we'll be back, and we're going to have some fun singing to God. So let's do this thing. We'll see you in a bit.
Covered And oh, when I reach out, you're always That concludes the Saturday morning or evening cartoon portion of this evening. You guys still doing all right? All right. We got a couple more songs left. We've just had a blast with y'all. How about it for Enterlv?
Yeah.
Oh, just great group of people. We've had a blast being on the bus with Enterlv. They are just wonderful folks as well as musicians. So please go out and support them. That would mean a lot to them. And as well, make sure to make your way to the Food for Hungry table. That they're just doing so many great things, and check it out if you haven't already. We got a couple more songs left, so let's sing these loud. Let's have a little bit of fun. Is that all right?